Good morning, it's Dr. James. Hey, I'm so grateful to see you this morning. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your time and thank you for your energy. And this morning, I have a prayer for you and I'm going to ask you to be open, to be fearlessly open to what I'm asking of all of us. I don't care whether we're left or we're right. I don't care whether or not the God that I believe in is a God that you believe in. I don't care whether or not we can agree on ideology and ideologues that I believe more often than not they separate us. What I do care about is common humanity. And I'm going to ask you, no matter where you stand today, to move into a new place and to be open to common humanity, to be open to oneness. I want us to consider what it means to be a true activist. One of my favorite poets is a man named Rumi. Rumi is a Sufi poet, and hundreds of years ago, he had this beautiful poem that I believe is so perfect for today. He said, "Beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there." And he went on to say in this poem, which I believe is such an important part of what is allowing us to consider whether or not we are going to allow oneness to come through us. Beyond the right doing and wrongdoing, this field is a place where we can embrace common humanity. And we can put down the shields of ideologues. We can put down the misconceptions of separation, the misconceptions that we are not one. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to ask you and I to consider being an activist today. I'm going to ask us to be an activist not in the way that we go out and maybe we picket or we yell at other people or we throw things at other people. We throw stones, whether verbally or physically. We give ourselves permission to create more and more separation because we believe our fear is just. And through acting out of fear, we continually push others away. Here's what I want to ask. Why don't we allow love to bring us together? Could you allow yourself to surrender away from what you believe is right doing and wrong doing and give yourself permission to truly be the change that activism coming from the heart-centered space of oneness can allow us to create? And here's how we're going to do it. Number one, your self-love, your unconditional self-acceptance is a form of social activism. When you give yourself permission to be intrinsically motivated, to eat well, to move your body, to pray, to allow yourself to give yourself the opportunity to fall in love with what it means to be unconditionally caring for you, your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit, you literally have an intrinsic opportunity that actually allows you to leave the space of your self-care that literally emanates an experience that actually raises everyone around you. Quantum physics says that when we see another human being who is wildly, unconditionally in the space of self-acceptance, self-love, self-compassion, it literally becomes a beacon because intrinsic motivation, which is the motivation that says, hey, you know what? I love myself because I want to be a beacon of hope for other human beings. And that is the most sustainable, the most powerful of all motivations. So you say to yourself, gosh, you know, I want to get in better shape. I want to eat well. I want to move my body. I want to be a good meditator. I want to be more spiritually awake. Well, you know what? When you connect that to the oneness of our common humanity, you will never be left without motivation. You will always have the kind of awakening that gives you permission to be wildly awake and fully courageous. Number two, I'm a giant believer in emotional contagion because after you're done with your self-love, self-care practices first thing in the morning, you go out in the world and something happens that's magical. It is called emotional contagion. That is simply the fact that every human being has something called a mirror neuron, which is literally we reflect and we copy and we emulate beauty. Beauty is activism. Self-love and self-care is activism. Allow it to translate and transmit and raise everyone around you. Moral elevation is the third type of social activism. It is the fact that when we know we're coming from our heart center to go out there in the world and be the representation, be the change which in this world, allow ourselves to be a pollinator of hope and do it actively in public, there is what they call a moral elevation, which literally means that we get over our old self. We let go of the divisiveness. We let go of the separation. We let go of the hate. We let go of the darkness, and we see each other and we can't help but love one another. Do not dim your light. Go public. Be absolutely committed. Be courageous. Be awake. Be wildly open to the idea that your that your self-care and your self-love made public, made real, made realized literally becomes a beacon of hope. And it transcends reason, it transcends religion, it transcends ideas and ideologue, it transcends separation and brings oneness and wholeness. And the world is dying for our participation. It is open to seeing what love looks like when it's lived out loud. So here's to being an activist, and here's to becoming wildly awake and alive, and here's to us changing the world as one. Much love, deep gratitude for you. Peace and blessings.